So when I first started off photography, I tended to gravitate more towards black and white. Even today, most of my portfolio is black and white. I've only recently started to dabble in color. I feel color is a beast within itself that I would need more time with, but I'm always learning and growing in both spectrums. So a little trick that I picked up throughout my years of shooting was to shoot in black and white in camera, but to also shoot raw, so I have the flexibility if I wanted to later in post-production to edit in color. You can also see that I utilize not only the black and white settings within my camera, but in my preview window on my camera I have the histogram on as well. These two kind of work in tandem for me. Initially I look at the preview photo, but then if I'm not sure about the highlights or the darks of the preview, just through my eyes, I can always fall back on the histogram, and this is kind of a surefire way to gauge good exposure, because when you shoot in the field as I do, the sun can be your friend and also your enemy. On one hand, it's giving you great exposure, but when you look at the preview screen, you will see nothing but glare for the most part, because you're out, I guess, in the outdoors if you're shooting in sunlight. And all you're looking for when looking at the histogram within the camera is you don't want the respective spectrums to touch their ends or touch their max ends. So you don't want maximum darks, you don't want maximum whites. If you keep the levels within the middle, this will ensure a very neutral, but in the end a very flexible photo to work with in post-production. So I found that light can add some inherent effects to the black and white photos even without doing any post. For instance, these photos, they were shot midday around 2 to 3 p.m. with a strong overcast light coming through a window. And as you can see, the light is a softer, flatter light all around. But if you put a simple black and white filter on, you can really bring out what I think mimics film camera. And within the digital realm, you won't have that dynamic range within digital. You can achieve this through medium formats or film cameras, but within the digital realm, you're very restricted. So with that being said, this technique mimics the film camera. The black and white filter will not only bring out, coupled with the black background, will create the illusion of sharpness by crushing the blacks so the subject can become more pronounced. Another plus for shooting against the black background is that you will only get positive grain and noise. And what I mean by this is, since the blacks are crushed, you will only really see noise and grain in the midtones and highlights, which should hopefully be only on your subject, since the background is black. The grain and noise will not only add an overall film effect, but I think it adds a mimic sharpness in some cases by camouflaging as pores or detailed skin, as you can see there. You can see all these factors coupled together add a very different feel to the photos. Now on the other ends of the spectrum, these photos were taken around the afternoon at 12 or 11 to 1 p.m. Clear skies and the sun was out. Now there are various ways to apply the black and white filters to the photos. Throughout my years of shooting, I've used both Lightroom and the inherent built-in Photoshop filters. In the first photos I used Photoshop filters for the most part, and these ones I'm using Lightroom's built-in filters. All these filters are inherently within and built into CS5.5, which I'm using in Lightroom 3 respectively. It just depends on the look I'm kind of aiming for, really. I noticed that the built-in filters in Lightroom are more harsh and pronounced. Now adding a black and white filter to these, you can see that you get a very detailed high dynamic range effect on all of these. With these you get a lot more freedom to play around with. The original photos in camera coming out raw, you get a lot more freedom to play around with the black and white, since things are well lit and the exposure is very neutral, or as close to neutral as I can get. So you can really stretch the black and white spectrum and you will get very sharp photos without any noise appearing. But as you can see, it's just one of the black and white filters in Lightroom that I applied, and with a few tweaks here and there, you can create kind of what I have in the end without purchasing any add-ons. That's the key thing. These are all built within, so there's no filters you have to buy, there's no add-ons you have to buy. You're all able to do this within the Adobe Suite. So my takeaways for black and white is that I've yet to scratch the surface of the spectrum, and I don't think I ever will master it, but each time I shoot, I grow and learn new things, learn new processes, and it's just something that I don't think I'll ever master, and I don't think anyone will. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching, guys.